see me? Am I clear? Am I good? Am I in camera? Can y'all hear me? I hope so, because ain't nobody got time. I'm not using these headphones today because I just don't feel like it. My hair is super cute, so no. I'm just gonna sit these right here and go from there. Hey, my healing homies. Welcome back to Heart Talks Heal. My name is Kiara Elise, your host, and we are back with another episode. This is episode 3, y'all. I'm so hype about it. Heart Talks Heal, again, is a safe space for the hard stuff, where we talk about it so we can go through it and get through it. Okay. So, just a little recap. Episode 1, I talked to y'all about what Heart Talks Hills is going to be about. Episode 2, I ran you through some tips and tricks on how to actually engage in healthy, hard conversations. For today's episode, we're going to talk about the hardest conversation you will have, and that is the hard conversation with yourself. I genuinely believe that you cannot be a good person to other people until you are a good person to yourself. So I also genuinely believe that starts with having hard conversations with yourself, because how are you going to know how to talk to other people if you don't even know how to have the conversation with yourself? So we're going to go inward today. Okay, let's just get real for a second. Sometimes the biggest lie we tell is not to other people, it's to ourselves. We avoid looking in the mirror and talking to ourselves honestly and truthfully. We distract ourselves, we make excuses. And why do we do that? Because self confrontation requires honesty. And then, if you're a person like me who is hell bent on just getting better and becoming a better person, once you're honest with yourself, that's hard for most people because honesty requires change. If you want to change, I'm just saying. Some people are real with themselves and don't care. They like who they are, they like how they are, so they're going to remain the same. But some people don't even get to that first step of just being real with you about what you got going on. Because it's really uncomfortable to confront our own habits, our own behaviors, our own flaws. It's really hard to like point that stuff out. But you got to do it if you want to grow. But simply put, self confrontation requires you to address the things that you know ain't right about you. It's an opportunity for you to address yourself about playing too small when you know you should be big stepping. It's an opportunity for you to check yourself about the things you've probably settled for that you know you ain't had no business settling for. But what I've learned and what I'm still continuing to learn is that the deeper you go with yourself, the more free you become. Because honestly, truly, you cannot heal what you won't name, and you can't grow past what you won't face. So get it together, okay? Now, I told y'all in the last episode that I am very big on accountability. But I'm going to be real with y'all. I have not always been as accountable as I am today. I feel like it's always been a quality about me that I've had, but I've just gotten a lot better at being able to check myself before anybody else even has to address me about anything. That's one thing I do pride myself on. Nobody can tell me about me because I tell me about me. That power is just something I want for everybody. I want for everyone to develop enough self awareness because they check themselves so much that can't nobody tell you about you. And can't nobody check you about you because you've already checked yourself and you started working on it. So, with this video, YouTube, podcast situation, I hope to spread that. I just want to kind of share with y'all like some of the things that I've done to get to where I am today and hope that y'all learn y'all something and use it in your own real lives, okay? I think the shift came when I stopped hiding from who I was and the things that I knew were not good about myself. I stopped hiding from those things and I started naming those things. Kira, you are a little too sensitive. You're naive. You are weak minded sometimes. You don't love yourself. Those are some really harsh things to say to yourself, but it was true. So Again, I'm one of those people. If somebody tell me something about me and it's the truth, I'm not gonna fight it. So I for damn sure, if I'm telling myself something about myself, who gonna check me? Ain't nobody around but me and God. So as hard as it is to say those things about yourself or hear those things about yourself, it is even better once you've already addressed it and you've grown past it. Now, my self love is off the charts, for real, for real. So it's just a lovely space to be in, knowing where I came from, knowing how much I lacked self love, and just knowing how much I got now. I'm just saying, I want everyone where I'm at and past me in the self love, self development department. Because I'm just the shit, if you ask me, because can't nobody tell me about me. There's so much power in that. No one will be able to shame you about something that you've already addressed on your own. I'm just saying, do the work. So now I simply just want to share some tips and tricks on how to start doing the work yourself. First step is to get still. And what I mean by get still is I mean sit with yourself. You could journal, you could just sit there and think, talk out loud. You can even go for a walk with no distractions, no music, no podcast playing. You're just listening to your own thoughts. What are you saying to you about you? Number two, ask yourself some real ninja questions, like the following. What am I pretending not to know about myself? What do I need to forgive myself for? What areas in my life am I choosing comfort over growth? Now, with those things, I want you to make sure you're being honest, but you're being gentle with yourself. It's important to give yourself grace because if other motherfuckers gotta check you, sometimes it might not come with a lot of grace. So if you're gonna check yourself, at least be nice about it. It's not about beating yourself up. It's simply about being real so you can heal. And realness doesn't require you to be nasty about it. You can talk to yourself kindly, but just be honest. When I was saying stuff to myself about how I didn't love myself and all of that, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was calling myself all types of stupids, idiots. Yeah, I was talking to myself crazy, but that was for me because I think, a little bit of harshness with me, I'm a tough love individual. So sometimes if I'm talking to myself a little tough, it lights a faster fire under me to get my shit together. But for y'all, I do not recommend talking to yourself super harshly. I recommend being as gentle as you can if you're not able to handle a tough love delivery from yourself. Another thing that I just thought about was that I know I talked about journaling, but like when it comes to like more specific and intentional journaling, you can write a letter to yourself or write a letter to the old version of yourself. Just simply checking yourself and being real with yourself about who you used to be in comparison to who you are now. I want you to create a space where the truth is welcomed and it's not something that you run away from because it's so hard to hear or read or write. Again, this is a conversation between you and you, and God is involved in my conversations with myself. I can't really say who y'all bring into y'all self talks, but God definitely is a part of my conversations with myself. So if you are someone who believes in God, bring him in on those conversations, okay? Ask him for the things that you want to change about yourself and intentionally believe that he's going to deliver on it. I want you to confront yourself and do what you got to do to get better. But in the midst of that, I do want to leave y'all with some affirmations that I feel can help you just kind of start the conversation, but in a gentle manner. So, one, you are not weak for struggling. Sit with that. Take it in. You're not weak. You're actually strong for surviving the struggle. You are not your past. You're not even the same you from yesterday. Something happened that made you shift a little bit. Maybe not too much that you even noticed, but I know I'm not the same person I was yesterday. Not for damn sure I'm not the same person I was 2 months ago, a year ago, 5, 10, however much many years ago. So if you were a person that you weren't super proud of in the past, you don't have to continue to be that. You can choose different and become somebody you are proud of. But you got to confront that. In order to know where you're going or to get to where you're going, you do have to address where you came from. And I want a lot more people to understand that. Change doesn't just happen. It requires a few steps before that. Just saying, don't beat up the messenger. I've lived it. I've experienced it. I've done the work. So I know. Last affirmation I want to leave y'all with is the moment you choose honesty is the moment you choose freedom. I'm going to just leave that at that. I hope you understand it. And if you don't, rewind this and listen to it again until you do. There's literally so much peace in being real with yourself. That's where the healing starts. And that's where confidence lives. Not in perfection, but in truth. Real. Honesty. So I do want to leave y'all with a challenge for the week. Have a hard conversation with yourself. Ask the hard questions. Write the answers down. Feel the feels. Sit with the feels. Do not run from the feels. If the feels hurt, this too shall pass. Everything is temporary, including pain. If this episode spoke to you, please share it, pass it along to the next person in your life that you feel is about ready to get real and heal. And as always, please make sure y'all follow Hard Talks Heal on YouTube, all your favorite podcast platforms, TikTok, Instagram. We everywhere, okay? Follow us so you don't miss anything. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. I'll holla. Happy healing. Bye.